Why is my pool plaster turning green? Well, pool plaster is just white sand and white cement. And so basically it's just concrete, if you can imagine that. And it is porous, and being that it's white, it's definitely inclined to stain. Now, in a swimming pool, when you see something green, 9 times out of 10, that's algae. Yes, it's possible. It could be that there is copper that is in solution in the water, and when you oxidize it, it can turn green. That's another situation, but really most of the time it's algae. So if you have a concrete swimming pool with a white plaster and it's turning green, it's very likely that you have algae in your swimming pool. And you're thinking, well, how can that be? I keep my chlorine levels up all the time. The problem is that concrete is a porous substance, and while the interior surface, the plaster, is made to be smooth, it deteriorates over time and it becomes rougher to the touch, and it makes it easier for, little bits of algae to get in there and hide from things like brushing or the normal chlorine that's just floating around in the water. And further to that, it's just an easier surface for the algae and the coloration to get stuck to. Again, the concrete is just white. It is porous. So if you were to take something rusty like a nail and sit it on the floor of your pool, for certain you're going to have a rust spot where that nail was within a day or so. And so it's the same thing with algae. When you have algae growing on the surface of your swimming pool, it's a white surface and it's porous, and it will stain that. You can brush it away, and that's the best recommended treatment, is just to brush it regularly. A lot of people look towards acid wash. Well, I've heard if I pour acid on it, then that'll get rid of it. And it probably will. It'll probably clean up and look good, and then it's going to get worse, and it'll be worse than the last time, because what the acid does in effect is it etches the plaster and it makes it more porous and rougher to the touch, and even more inclined for the algae to be growing there. And so what you're doing is you're going to end up in a cycle here. And the long and short of it is that probably your pool plaster is going to need to be redone at some point. If you can feel your plaster and it feels rough to the touch, then it really shouldn't. It's supposed to be smooth, and it's supposed to be hard for algae to attach and grow on there. And so if you find that your plaster is turning green all the time, despite your best efforts of brushing it regularly and keeping your chlorine levels up, it's entirely possible that it might be time to start talking about replastering the pool. If you found this information helpful, please be sure to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And you can check out my website, swimmingpoolsteve.com.